Buongiorno, my darling. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. It is Saturday as I record this, and I just wanted to do a quick little video about something that I really recognized is happening for the collective. Like old perceived enemies or old adversaries are finding peace. And this doesn't have to be something that's worked out together. I've noticed that it can be just, a lot of people have just been letting go of anger and letting go of fear. And, I saw like a meme or something just the other day that was an old one, or it was just like one of those things that like, an ended friendship is not a beef. And it's just so true for leaders, for this community, for those who've been doing their inner work and really looking at their stuff, and those that speak from I statements. Whenever there's a perceived enemy or someone outside of yourself that is really ruffling your feathers and really making you do some work and really making you block or set boundaries or all of these different things, could be anything. That's giving us the opportunity to look at ourselves and say, okay, what was my role in this situation? What did I do in my own mind's eye wrong? We cannot control how other people react to us. We can only control our own thoughts, words, and actions, and say, this is how my most authentic self would show up in these situations. But sometimes those perceived enemies are our greatest teachers. So I'm finding that so many people, I don't even want to say starseeds or light workers. I just want to say like leaders, beings doing their work. If you're here with me, you are a leader in your life. You are front facing with human beings. You are the one at the grocery store that people come up to and they're like, do you know where I can find this? And you're like, I don't. I'm actually wearing my gym clothes, but let's find out together because I am a leader and I'm here to be helpful. And so much of us, and this is something that I struggle with still and that I'm working on, is that feeling that we have to do more, that we're not doing enough. That, the second that we learn a lesson, we're like, we have to soapbox this, we have to tell our own community, we have to do this, that, and the other thing. And I still struggle with it. I'm like, you've only done one video this week, Sarah. Is everybody going to be okay? And it's like, yes. You're okay. Everybody's going to be okay. And people have your email address, so if they have a question, they can always reach out directly, and you know that. But I'm finding that within the collective, there's this real acceptance and surrender of like, wow, I really don't need to carry that anger, or I really don't need to carry that boundary. I did a video a while ago about having boundaries in a boundaryless world. And if you haven't watched that, definitely go find it. It's on my YouTube. A really great speech about, boundaries are, to protect ourselves. Boundaries are not to change any of the other people. It's not to say, stay the fuck out of my life. It's to say, hey, I love you, but this is all I have to offer. I used to offer this, and that was a lot for me, so now I'm offering this. Because we can't get off this planet. If we attempt, or if anything happens, we just gotta come back. Definitely, I'll do some videos about how death is really different right now. And I know that that's really heavy for a lot of people to grasp, but we know that we're in a third dimensional matrix and that none of this is real, we created it. But death right now and going into the new world is very, very different. It's more vibrational. So we'll talk about that at another time. Let me just make a note of that. Hold on. I have so many. I'm sitting at the Eagle table and I have like so many cards in front of me. My journals and all my books are over there, and I have my art pieces over there. I'm going to do some more of that today. And I've been posting more on my Instagram about my art and that expression. So if you don't follow me over there, please go take a look. My Instagram, a little bit more personal stuff. But yeah, I'm finding that this isn't like you call up your old enemy, unblock them and call them up and be like, hey, I don't hate you anymore. There's just not this heaviness really in a lot of people's hearts. And we've put it down and we've surrendered and we've done our inner work and we've said, yeah, that's what I did in that situation. And I've healed that aspect of myself. I'm really proud of that. And I just don't really have that thought anymore about what would I do if I saw that person, or, oh my goodness, I have to be careful of this, or it's just kind of like, the image that's coming to my mind is like, after a really difficult breakup or a really difficult scenario that, took up so much of your mental space. And then one day you wake up and you're like, wow, I haven't thought about them in a bit. It just happens naturally. It's like, if anybody tries to tell you, just let it go, you're like, you can go fuck yourself. How do I do that? Like, that's not a thing. But a lot of us collectively, naturally, have just put down our anger and said, I did the best I could with the tools that I had at the time, and I've whittled new tools for myself, and now I know if something like that pops up in my life again, if a person like that pops up in my life again, I'm going to know exactly how to handle it. I'm going to be prepared internally. I'm going to know that any external issue that happens outside of myself, my soul contracted to better develop. So if you ever have a little bit of a deja vu type of a person that's like, oh, you kind of remind me of this person I used to hate or that I had a lot of trouble with, really sink into that feeling and say, okay, then obviously I left some gold nuggets back there, and the universe will constantly repeat patterns for you until you learn the lesson. It's just like in, Super Mario, like you can't level up to the next level unless you finish everything at this level. So if you have a broken record going on, you know that there's something there that you need to heal and you need to look at. But I'm finding a lot of us right now are just really, it's so cool to feel. It's so cool to see in my everyday life. I have to give credit to those who are feeling this because it took a lot of really gross inner work to get here. So cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to you. My guides are saying, like, really give yourself a pat on the back. And, as leaders, we're still, some of us still, how do I say? Our parents aren't always going to be able to give us the pat on the back that we really needed. And no matter how hard we work and no matter what we do, we really can't go back to our childhood and teach our parents how to give us the praise that we needed. Nobody needed an 11th, 12th, 13th place ribbon ever. But to have one or two people in your life say, hey, I really see you and I honor you and I value you. You did an incredible job there. For leaders, a lot of the time, we don't really get that validation. We don't get that accolade from someone that we really idealize that can offer us that feeling we have to nourish inside of ourselves. So how is it that you're giving yourself the space to celebrate in a way that maybe doesn't make sense, maybe is like creating art, or give yourself a celebration and I don't want to say like a prize, but give yourself a real solid pat on the back. Say, I just want to take myself out to dinner. I want to really treat myself well right now and nourish every little bit of yourself. Yeah, my guides are saying, like, washing it off. That doesn't make sense to me. It's like you've just gone through a battle and you're washing the blood, sweat, and tears off of your body. It feels like a multidimensional metaphysical battle right now, and a lot of you feel like every single day. Yeah, at the end of the day, do a little bit of a cleansing and clearing. Like clearing your aura every night, giving yourself a nice little, like, however each night you can feel a little bit more refreshed going into the next day, and, you know, cutting ties at the end of the day. Yeah, they're saying incorporating a little bit more end of night and like end of the evening. This is unexpected to come through. End of the evening ceremony. They're saying ceremony. Yeah, giving, like, making sure, like, just like you wash your physical body at the end of the night, are you washing your aura and cleansing your aura and making sure that every bit of yourself is clean before you're going to bed at the end of the night? Okay, that was unexpected. That was unexpected. Thank you, guides, for coming through on that one. They're saying that was for you too, Sarah, so good to know. My morning practice is always fantastic, and that, you know, comes from the entrepreneur, from the leadership mind space, like the 5 a.m. club, like, but the evening practice is equally as important, and that's something that I will focus on as well this week. So thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, my darlings. If we have not met, my name is Sarah. I am your alien friend. My purpose is to provide an inspired and safe space for us all to find connection. And my quest is to find and train the new leadership team for the Awakened New Earth. So if you're here with me, you are a leader in your realm, and I'm proud of you and I'm grateful for you. So please comment below and let me know if you're feeling this really beautiful clearing vibration that's going on right now. And if you're not, that's okay. That's okay. That's a beautiful place to be, is to really, like, awareness and, you know, like, admitting where you are is one of the first steps for many processes, many different step programs. So saying, wow, I'm actually pretty enraged at a lot of people, like, that's an amazing place to be. So if that's where you are, acknowledge it. And if I can be helpful, please send an email or comment below, and I'd be happy to hold a private session for you and get you to a place of just existence, finding yourself again. I'm proud of you. I love you. Always here for you. Always there. And it's quite a beautiful day. Ciao, darlings. I'll see you soon.